Imagine a kingdom not of stone, but of endless grass and sky. The Lakota homeland, stretching 60 million acres across the North American plains. This was a realm without walls, where the horizon itself marked the only boundary, and the land seemed to go on forever, shaped by wind, sun, and the footsteps of countless generations. This was a living world where every breeze carried stories and the land itself was sacred. The grasses whispered the memory of ancestors, and every sunrise was a renewal of the bond between people and earth. The Lakota saw themselves as caretakers, not owners of this vast expanse. The Lakota were not a single tribe but a confederacy of 7 bands, united by language, kinship, and a shared destiny. Each band had its own leaders and traditions, yet all were bound together by a powerful sense of community and mutual respect. Their society valued generosity, courage, and wisdom. A person's worth was measured by what they gave, not what they owned. Elders taught the young that true honor came from helping others, and that the greatest leaders were those who put their people first. They thrived long before settlers arrived, navigating alliances and rivalries, and honoring the earth through ceremony. Their gatherings were filled with song, dance, and ritual, each act a celebration of life and a reaffirmation of their connection to the land and to each other. When the United States pushed west, the Lakota resisted fiercely. They defended their homeland with unmatched skill, their warriors renowned for bravery and strategy, determined to protect their way of life at all costs. In 1876, at Little Bighorn, they delivered the U.S. Army a legendary defeat, a testament to their strength and unity. This victory echoed across the continent, a moment when the world saw the power and resolve of the Lakota people. But this victory was brief. Relentless pressure followed. The encroachment of settlers and soldiers brought new challenges, and the Lakota faced a future shadowed by uncertainty and loss. The Lakota's world was targeted, their buffalo herds decimated, their freedom curtailed. The disappearance of the buffalo, their lifeblood, struck at the heart of their culture, threatening their survival and traditions. Yet their spirit endured, passed down through generations. Through stories, songs, and ceremonies, the Lakota kept their heritage alive, teaching their children to remember who they are and where they come from. To understand the Lakota is to see a people who weathered storms and still stand tall, their roots deep in the land. Their resilience is a testament to the enduring power of identity and tradition, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Their story is not a footnote, but an epic of resilience and vision. The Lakota have shaped history, and their journey continues to inspire those who seek strength and hope. The heart of their nation still beats beneath the vast open sky, a living legacy as boundless as the horizon itself. The Lakota's world revolved around the buffalo, Tatanka, their provider, their relative, their spiritual anchor. For countless generations, the great herds shaped every aspect of Lakota existence, from the rhythm of daily life to the deepest spiritual beliefs. The buffalo is not just an animal to them, but a living symbol of abundance, strength, and unity with the land. Every part of the buffalo was used, meat for food, nourishing families through harsh winters and lean times. The act of butchering was a communal event, bringing people together in gratitude and respect for the animal's sacrifice. Hides became sturdy tipis and warm clothing, protecting the people from the elements. Bones and sinew were transformed into tools, weapons, and even musical instruments, each item crafted with care and purpose. The people moved with the herds, their lives in sync with the great migrations. Their mobility and survival depended on following the buffalo's path, adapting to the changing seasons and landscapes of the plains. The buffalo was more than sustenance, it was sacred, a living covenant with the Creator. Ceremonies and prayers honored the buffalo's spirit, reinforcing the deep spiritual connection between the people and the herds. Hunting was a holy act, done with prayer and gratitude, ensuring the herd's survival. The Lakota believed that only by showing respect could the cycle of life continue, and the buffalo would return year after year. The buffalo shaped Lakota culture, art, and stories. It was the center of their universe. Songs, dances, and legends all celebrated the buffalo's gifts, passing wisdom from elders to children. Its presence meant life and continuity. Its loss would bring catastrophe. The disappearance of the herds threatened not just food, but the very identity and future of the Lakota people. When the buffalo vanished, so too did the foundation of Lakota life. The land grew silent, and the people faced unimaginable hardship and sorrow. The bond between people and buffalo was a model of respect and reciprocity. It was a relationship built on mutual dependence, care, and understanding. Its absence would test the very soul of the nation, leaving a longing that echoes across the plains to this day. The railroad, the Iron Horse, cut through Lakota land, bringing settlers, soldiers, and hunters. For the U.S., it was progress. For the Lakota, an invasion. Treaties like Fort Laramie promised protection but were quickly broken as gold was discovered and settlers poured in. The railroad accelerated the loss of land and buffalo, and military forts sprang up to enforce U.S. will. The Lakota resisted, led by warriors like Red Cloud, who forced the U.S. to abandon forts and sign treaties they would soon violate. This was more than a fight for territory. It was a battle for a way of life. The collision of worldviews was inevitable, setting the stage for legendary conflict. The Iron Horse was not just a machine, but a harbinger of destruction. The struggle for survival had entered a new, relentless phase. The discovery of gold in the Black Hills set off a chain reaction that would forever alter the fate of the Great Plains. Prospectors flooded into the region, drawn by dreams of fortune, and their arrival ignited the Great Sioux War of 1876, a conflict that would become legendary in American history. The U.S. government, hungry for land and resources, broke its own treaties with the Sioux. General Custer and his army were sent deep into sacred native territory, determined to seize the Black Hills no matter the cost. In response, the Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho nations united in a rare alliance. Guided by visionary leaders like Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse, they gathered their people, determined to defend their land, their culture, and their future. This was not just a fight for warriors. Families, women, children, and elders stood side by side, their resolve unbroken, ready to protect their way of life against overwhelming odds. Sitting Bull's powerful vision foretold a great victory. On June 25, 1876, Custer led his troops in a surprise attack on the massive native encampment at Little Bighorn, believing he could easily defeat them. But Custer gravely underestimated the strength and unity of his opponents. The combined native forces surrounded the cavalry, and in a fierce, chaotic battle, Custer's command was wiped out to the last man. The victory at Little Bighorn stunned the nation. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to the courage, resilience, and unity of the Lakota and their allies. For a brief, shining moment, the heart of the plains beat strong and free, echoing with hope and pride for generations to come. But this triumph would not go unanswered. The U.S. government, shocked and humiliated, responded with overwhelming military force, determined to crush native resistance once and for all. The Battle of Little Bighorn became legend, a symbol of defiance and hope. Yet, for the Lakota and their allies, the war for survival was far from over. Their greatest victory would soon be followed by their greatest challenge, as the struggle to protect their land and way of life entered a new and uncertain chapter. Little Bighorn's victory sparked a furious U.S. response. Troops flooded the plains, determined to crush Lakota resistance. The government used starvation as a weapon, cutting off food until the Lakota ceded the Black Hills. Under duress, some leaders signed away sacred land, a decision still contested as illegal. Treaties were dismantled, and the Great Sioux Reservation was carved into ever smaller pieces. The Dawes Act forced communal land into individual plots, eroding the foundation of Lakota society. The result: catastrophic loss of land, autonomy, and culture. The Lakota, once free across 60 million acres, were confined to scattered reservations. The fight for the Black Hills and treaty rights continues, a living struggle for justice and sovereignty. The shadow of broken promises stretches into the present. Yet, the Lakota's resolve remains unbroken. Reservation life marked a painful transformation, freedom replaced by confinement, tradition by forced assimilation. Government agents imposed new leaders, undermining traditional authority. Children were taken to boarding schools, forbidden to speak Lakota or practice their culture. Ceremonies like the sun dance were outlawed, missionaries sought to erase spiritual traditions. The goal was to kill the Indian, save the man. A campaign of cultural erasure. Yet the Lakota resisted traditions survived underground, stories and language passed on in secret. Elders became keepers of memory, ensuring the old ways endured. The reservation era brought sorrow, but also resilience. Lakota culture became more precious, its survival a quiet act of defiance. The seeds of modern revitalization were sown in this hard soil. Despite immense loss, the Lakota spirit adapted and endured. Their identity, though tested, was never destroyed. Even in the darkest times, the Lakota spirit endured. Today, the powwow is a vibrant celebration of identity, a living heartbeat of the nation. Drums echo the earth's pulse, dancers in regalia honor ancestors and heritage. Each dance, each song, is a prayer and a story, connecting generations. Regalia is sacred, crafted with care and meaning, a link to family and tradition. The powwow keeps language and wisdom alive, passing them to the young. In a world that tried to silence them, the Lakota declare, "We are still here." The sacred hoop remains unbroken, as vast and resilient as the sky. Today's Lakota warriors are teachers, artists, activists, and leaders, fighting for culture, rights, and a better future. Revitalizing the Lakota language is a central battle, with immersion schools and new technology bringing it back to life. The fight for the Black Hills continues. The Lakota refuse compensation, insisting the land is not for sale. Legal and political struggles for sovereignty remain fierce and principled. Modern warriors tackle social and economic challenges, building stronger communities and defending the environment. Artists and authors reclaim their stories, challenging stereotypes and celebrating heritage. The Lakota voice is strong, clear, and determined. Their commitment to survival and justice echoes their ancestors' courage. The battles have changed, but the spirit endures. The Lakota Nation is not just surviving, it is thriving. The Lakota story is alive, a legacy of resilience, adaptation, and cultural strength. It lives in the language of the youth, the beat of the powwow drum, and the ongoing fight for justice. This legacy is carried in ceremonies, art, and the unbreakable sense of identity. The Lakota journey teaches that a nation is its people, stories, and values, not just its land. Their history challenges us to confront hard truths, but also inspires with its strength. The sacred hoop endures, whole and unbroken. The Lakota are still here, their voices rising. Their journey continues, guided by the wisdom of the past and hope for the future. The spirit of the nation remains as vast as the sky.